Someone stole my credit card and bought an iPad, but had it shipped to my house. What's your best stupid criminal story? I'm guessing they accidentally went with the default ship to billing address option. The kicker is they actually called me, pretending to be a Best Buy employee, said they had shipped a package in error and I should leave it outside for UPS to pick up. Luckily, I noticed the charge on my credit card and was able to return the iPad for a full refund. I gave the phone number to the cops. Mine was stolen once. The person ordered about $75 worth of pizza and had it delivered to their house. I visited the pizza place, said I needed a receipt for the pizza so my company would pay me back. They gave me a receipt showing the address they delivered it to. Turned it into the police in town and they were on the news 2 days later. Nice work, detective. Haha, well, the cops said they couldn't do anything without more evidence, so I got them more evidence. Cops are so lazy. There is no reason they couldn't call the pizza place and get the address. My parents were driving home and saw their second car coming the other way, turned around, followed it, and stole it back with their spare set of keys. And yes, obviously then reported the matter to the police. They stole it back. Nice. Yeah. Respect. My bike was stolen on campus at my first university, not uncommon, but my bike certainly was. I managed to spot it on campus later that semester, locked up all nice and tight to a tree outside of one of the dorms. My brother lived in the same town at the time, and he offered to, acquire it for me. We parked on the street at night, and I sat in horror while I watched him steal my bike back. I was so afraid we'd get caught, and there's no way I could prove that it was my bike, since I did not have it registered with the campus police. He freed it with little to no difficulty, directly under a blinding street light, and we packed up and got the fuck out of there. It wasn't until the next day, in broad daylight, that I actually realized it wasn't my bike at all. Same model, but there were clear differences in scratches and the like that gave it away. I could also tell this bike was older than mine. TLDR, I'm accidentally just as scummy as the guy who stole my bike in the first place. A friend of mine had his backpack with his $1,400 engineering laptop in it, stolen, while at the campus food court. I had a weird gut feeling it would turn up on Craigslist, or somewhere similar. Every day for a week I checked Craigslist. Exactly 1 week later, I found the laptop. This extremely stupid criminal took a picture of the laptop screen with my friend's login name. Yeah, very stupid criminal. So I contacted the seller immediately via email and he responded within 20 minutes. I said I'd like to buy the laptop from him. We agreed to meet at a nearby parking lot later that day. Next, we called the cops. They agreed to set up a sting on the thief. One of the officers pretended to be a buyer and approached the thief. The officer acted as if he was examining the laptop, but was actually looking for the serial number. Boom. It had a matching serial number and they arrested this dumb shit. A week ago, 4 months later, the guy was proven guilty, and to my knowledge, is spending a year in prison. Plus, my buddy finally got his laptop back. Now I have a full-on justice boner. Someone stole my wife's debit card and used it for online gambling websites in Europe, and ended up winning. The winning automatically went right back onto her account. Jackpot. Yeah, but she couldn't keep it since she had already disputed the charges with the bank and frozen the account. The lesson here is, if someone uses your credit for online gambling, wait and see if they win before calling the police. One of my friend's co-workers worked at a petrol station. One night when he wasn't working, he put on a mask and robbed it with his friend. He demanded the extra cigarettes which were located under the counter from the clerk. The clerk just replied there weren't any cigarettes there. He replies, yes there are, I know because I work here. Well, this is pretty damn stupid. Someone stole my credit card info and bought a copy of their credit report with it. I looked that mofo up on Facebook too, since the CC company somehow ended up sending me a full copy of his credit report during the investigation, and I was like, dude, poke him. Poke the shit out of him. Multiple times a day, every day, for years. There's a place in the not so nice area of Dallas that sells insanely precise novelty driver's licenses for a justifiably high price. These two geniuses were in line ahead of me purchasing theirs, and one of them put his actual birth date on the thing. Dumbus paid $150 for a fake ID that says he's 19. Now that's some Aggie genius there. Maybe he actually wanted a novelty license? Imagine how cool he would look in front of his friends. My soccer team was playing a game at a local park. During the game a sketchy looking guy runs through to pitch we are playing on, holding several cell phones. We soon realize that said valuables belong to us and begin chasing him. He probably thought that he has made a profit, stealing cell phones worth hundreds, until he looks back and sees 30 people chasing him down. When we caught him we took our valuables back and proceeded to beat the crap out of him. The thing is, our changing rooms are roughly 200 yards from the field, so why run directly past the people you've just robbed when you could easily sneak away? Yeah, steal from a large, athletic group, warmed up and ready to run, who are wearing cleats. That's a ducking great idea. I bet he had the worst bruises imaginable. Amex is a little overzealous in their anti-fraud practices. I just purchased about $1,200 of parts for my new home computer rig from Newegg.com. I get a call about 30 minutes later from Amex asking if it was me. I said, yes. What kind of thief would send computer parts to the billing address? His response was, you would be surprised. /incredulous. I love those calls. It makes me feel pretty secure if something does happen to go wrong. I spent last summer traveling around the country, basically in a new state every 2 days or so. I got a lot of those calls. Now, there's a purchase at a gas station in Texas. Is that you? Yes. How about from a gas station in Oklahoma 2 days later? Yes. Okay, and then I have one from a gas station in Arkansas the day after that. Still me. Okay, and then from the next day at a gas station in Tennessee. What? That's not me, just kidding. Still me. This happened to my fiance's family. A few years ago, this drunk stoned guy came and started pounding on the door at 3 in the morning. My fiance's dad came to the door and yelled, "What the duck do you want?" The idiot stared back and said, "I'm here for the party." My fiance's dad closed the door. The guy kept trying to get in. My fiance's dad screamed at the guy that there was no party here and get the duck off his property. The guy went around to the garage and got into my future mother-in-law's car. By this time, father-in-law has called the cops, grabbed his gun and is coming out with the family's 130-pound German Shepherd. The guy sees Phil, freaks out and tries to run. The dog bites the dumbus on his butt and stops the guy in his tracks. The cops show up and arrest the guy. Casey, the dog, comes trotting back up to the family with jeans, a piece of boxers and skin in his mouth. Edit, TLDR, guy wants to party, ends up with a new hole in his butt. Best TLDR ever. We left our garage open a few years ago at night by accident. Apparently someone had been snooping around in there because everything was out of place in the morning, except for a solid gold bracelet laying on the ground outside the garage door. What did they steal? My ducking razor scooter man. Maybe it was one of those action move moments, where protagonist needed a way to chase the villain, and the best they could do was drop an expensive bracelet as payment. I had my iPod Touch stolen. The dude didn't seem clever when he started talking with his girlfriend on my Facebook. Figured who she was, talked with her, got her to talk with him. He lived far away apparently, boom. Please tell me you seduced her, then called the cops. I was just a bit more forward, I know her. Didn't know her boyfriend, the guy who stole it, and asked if she knew if her boyfriend had gotten any new toys. While on a vacation, my family and I went mini golfing. When we came back, apparently somebody broke into our car. The window was smashed and there was stuff thrown around the car. We had a very expensive GPS in there, a brand new camera, and several other expensive things. But the thief didn't take any of that. He took a bag of diapers. Just the diapers. We were all struck by this. When we called the police they were stunned as well. They caught the thief within the week. We got the diapers back. That's actually kind of sad. Yeah, he clearly wasn't in it for profit. Maybe he really needed those. I saw a guy get caught for stealing a bunch of Nutter Butters once. To be fair, Nutter Butters are ducking delicious. And expensive, shuts close to $5 a pack if they are not on sale. Theft justified. And they're never on sale. Stupid girl found my debit card after I had dropped it on campus. Took it to Wilson's Leather and bought her boyfriend a leather jacket. When my card didn't have enough on it to pay the whole cost of the jacket, she used her own debit card to finish paying it off. All on video. There's a possibly apocryphal story that a wealthy lady in New Haven, CT, had her purse stolen. Inside the purse was her Yale Co-op card. The Yale Co-op is the campus store. A little while later, someone showed up at the co-op and tried to pay with the card. The cashier asked her to wait a moment while she verified the purchase. After a short interval, two gentlemen in blue uniforms showed up and invited the shopper to ride with them in their car. Unfortunately, the stolen card belonged to Mrs. Kingman Brewster. Kingman Brewster happened to be the president of Yale at the time, meaning that pretty much everyone connected to the university would recognize his name. And while the cashier might not have known exactly what Mrs. Brewster looked like, she had a pretty shrewd idea that the president of America's oldest and waspiest college wasn't married to a 17-year-old African American girl. TLDR, teenage bag snatcher tries to use a prominent person's charge card in the one store in town where everyone will instantly know that it's not hers. And that's how you end the affair with the underage black girl Yale style.